and more. Yes, Media Academy Radio.
Excite.
The hits.
From the studios of Yes Smart Radio, the First Media Academy Radio, we say good morning to you once again, and we are so glad to know that you're there, and we are here to serve you in the best of ways, in the best of form. Welcome to the newspaper review, coming to you live from the studios of Yes Smart Radio, and we are transmitting from Yemi Sonde Media House, Yemi Sonde Christian Felele Express bus stop right here in the city of Ibadan, Southwest Nigeria. It's my pleasure to be here, and we greet you on behalf of the entire transmission team. We say thank you for being there. My name is Olatunde Idowu.
And I am Temiloluwa Oyetunde.
It's always nice to have the two Tundes in the house this morning, and it's nice to have you, Temi. You good?
Yes.
Ready to go?
Ready to go.
I've got two papers with me, the Punch and the Vanguard.
And I have here with me the Nation and the Tribune newspaper.
That's some of the headlines making the rounds this morning, and I start up from the front page, from the pages of the Punch newspaper. APC interim panel battles against time. Party to shift convention.
I'll be starting from the Tribune newspaper. Mago cries out over fair hearing. Lawyer writes Sami panel.
Oni criticizes Big Brother Naija, suggests replacement. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree with the Oni of Ife.
Okay, all right. We're not going to talk much about that. All right, let's go on.
Federal government deduct money from state over double taxation.
Rivers community laments General Hospital closure over insecurity.
Bauchi governor dissolves local government caretaker committees.
And IG threatens 10 billion naira lawsuit against Shore.
Federal government governors say we must invest more in youth. This is from the Nation newspaper.
SARS arrested boy on errand, demanded 500,000 naira. That's credited to his mother.
Former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria dies at 90.
Oh boy. Petrol supply disruption imminent as Pengerson begins strike.
My final story for this morning, soldier jailed 55 years for murder.
And on the sporting page, before we go straight to the details, Okwaraji, NFF begins process to retire Eagles number 6 jersey. There's so much more stories we have for you on the newspaper review for this morning. We'll take a short commercial break, and when we return, we'll go straight to the business of the morning. Good morning.
Hello there. Is it your dream to live and work in Canada? If your answer is yes, then your dream is about to become a reality. All you need to do is just be a part of your Fit Fly Canada Permanent Resident Visa Program, and surely you will begin to live your dream in no time, as your Fit Fly understands the process within the legal framework of Canada Travel Program. That is why you're enjoyed to be a part of the big league and realize your dream of living and working in Canada. Let the masters take up the job for you. Visit your Fit Fly today at Success House, Block 8, Plot 15, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Main Estate, Ring Road, Ibadan, or better still call 070-6275-9762. Website youfitfly.com for the dream of your Canada permanent residence to come into fruition. You Fit Fly is the key. You Fit Fly says, stay safe.
SCP don't come. You got the one and the safety go. Where they protect our family from yama yama.
Bright International Pharmaceuticals PLC.
Many thanks for being there, and if you're just tuning in, it's still the newspaper review from the studios of Yesma Radio, the First Media Academy Radio. Let's go straight to the business of the morning. Ladies first.
Okay, I'll be starting up this morning with the Tribune newspaper. Magu cries out over fair hearing, lawyer writes Salami panel. Suspended acting chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, has told the Ayo Salami-led Judicial Commission of Inquiry that his rights to a fair hearing are being violated. This is contained in a letter written by Magu's lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu, dated August 11 and addressed to the chairman of the commission investigating his alleged abuse of office and mismanagement of the federal government's recovered assets and finances. According to Shitu, the suspended EFCC acting chairman was the principal subject of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, not only in relation to his person, but also connected to the office he occupied at the time of inquiry, and thereby making him the principal suspect in the proceedings. Magu cries out over fair hearing, lawyer writes Salami panel.
Our first story will be taken from the pages of the Punch with the COVID-19 story here. Nigeria confirmed 453 new COVID-19 cases. Total infections now 47,743. Nigeria has recorded 453 new cases of coronavirus, bringing the total number of COVID-19 infections in the country to 47,743. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disclosed this yesterday night via Twitter. Giving a breakdown of the figures, the health agency said the new cases were recorded in Lagos, the FCT, and 14 other states of the Federation. While Lagos topped the list with 113 cases, the FCT came second with 72 new infections. Other states with reported cases are Plateau 59, Enugu 55, Kaduna 38, Ondo 32. Osun has 26, Ebonyi 20, Ogun 9, Delta 8, Borno 7, Akwa Ibom 6, Oyo 5, with Bauchi, Kano, and Ekiti each having one case. On a positive note, the country has been able to manage 33,943 people who recovered from the virus and have been discharged. Unfortunately, 956 people have died from COVID-19 in Nigeria. Nigeria confirms 455 new COVID-19 cases. Total infections now 47,743.
Federal government to deduct money from states over double taxation. The federal government is set to sanction states engaging in double taxation in the country, as the Federal Executive Council (FEC) has asked the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Hajia Zaimamilekon, told the council that insecurity had hampered the sector while investors are leaving the country because of double taxation. To know more about this story, get yourself a copy of the Tribune newspaper.
DSS releases My Lafia after 6 hours of interrogation. The Department of State Services has released the former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Obadiah Malafia, after questioning him for more than 6 hours. Dr. Malafia was on Tuesday questioned by officials of the agency in Jos, the Plateau State capital, in connection with comments he reportedly made on Monday about the leadership of Boko Haram. It is not clear if the DSS is through with their questioning, but the former CBN chief was released after Reverend Gideon Para Malam presented himself as a surety. Following his release from custody, the former CBN deputy governor thanked his family members, the media, for their support while in detention, adding that he didn't regret the comments he made. Quoting Malafia, he said, "Since yesterday, there has been to support voluntarily from the media. I want to thank them for their courage. If I had retracted anything, I don't think I would have been able to leave this place, because the youths of this country are fed up. All these killings have made people fed up. Those who tolerate it are committing great evil. We must remain steadfast. I love Nigeria. We must love our country." The former CBN deputy governor buttressed that he does not support or promote violence and will never support evil. DSS releases Malafia after 6 hours of interrogation. Virtually The Dailies has got that story for this morning. Please check it out.
Bauchi governor dissolves local government caretaker committees. Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Muhammad Abdulkadir has approved with immediate effect the dissolution of the 20 local government caretaker committees in the state. The dissolution, which is contained in a statement by Senior Special Assistant Media to the Governor, Mukhtar Gidado, is in line with provisions of the electoral law and other related laws of the country. The release made available to journalists late Wednesday evening stated that following the release of timetable for the conduct of the forthcoming local government council election in the state and in compliance with the guidelines issued by the State Independent Electoral Commission (BASIEC) for the provision of 30 days notice by all candidates who wish to participate in the election. Bauchi Governor dissolves local government caretaker committees.
COVID-19 FEC approves 8.49 billion naira for procurement of test kits. The Federal Executive Council FEC has approved the sum of 8.49 billion naira for the procurement of test kits by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (CDC). The approval was given at the end of its 11th virtual meeting, which was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday. It was learned that the sum is meant for the procurement of 12 items in various quantities for the testing of COVID-19 in the country. This comes after the Minister of Health, Osage Ehanire, presented a memo on behalf of the center at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The callings for late ex-minister, retired Rear Admiral Olufemi Olumide, and retired Major General Sam Mama. Retired Admiral Olumide died at 82, while Major General Momo passed away at 77. COVID-19, Federal Executive Council approves 8.49 billion naira for procurement of test kits.
And moving over to the Nation newspaper, federal government governors say we must invest more in youth. The federal government and governors on Wednesday said there is the need to invest in more youth to make them central to policy making and governance. There was a torrent of messages as the world marked the International Youth Day. As a way of reducing unemployment, the federal government urged youth to embrace agriculture. It is said that the Bank of Agriculture is offering different loan schemes at very reasonable rates to encourage youth to go into farming. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs George Akume stated this during a one-day symposium organized by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYGN, to mark the day in Abuja. He said, agriculture is capable of creating millions of jobs. I therefore urge the Nigerian youth to embrace agriculture for subsistence and commercial purposes. Federal government governors say we must invest more in youth. From the Nation newspaper.
Right, from the Punch newspaper, still talking about the youth of the world in Nigeria in particular, those of us where we're still youths. Oni criticizes hashtag BBNaija suggests replacement. The Oni of Ife, Obadeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, has suggested a replacement for the Big Brother Naija reality show. While playing host to members of the National Youth Council of Nigeria in his palace at Ile-Ife, Osun, the monarch criticized the hashtag BBNaija show. He said the reality show was misrepresenting the goodness and integrity of the Nigerian youths. As a replacement, he suggested a reality show that will project the country's values, cultures, and traditions. He suggested that the new show could be tagged the Big Nigeria reality show. The proposed show will be structured in a way that young professionals, talented individuals, and others across several fields of endeavor will be showcased and helped to reach their peak. This quoting Oni here, he said, this will help the participants and also will help viewers to have access to people that can be seen as role models, Oni said. The royal father, who stressed the need for participation of more youths in leadership, lamented that the youths have misplaced their priorities and must redress it as a matter of urgent public importance. Oni criticizes BBNaija, suggests replacement. The Punch newspaper has full details.
And still on the Nation newspaper, former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Walter Carrington, dies at 90. This was confirmed in a statement signed by his wife. Meanwhile, Buhari mourns Carrington. President Muhammad Buhari has described United States Ambassador Walter Carrington as a longtime friend of Nigeria, an astute and courageous diplomat. He mourned the death of the top diplomat in a statement issued by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Malam Garba Shehu. In a tribute last night, President Buhari praised the late ambassador, whom he said openly supported the people of this country when they fought for the return of democracy following the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential elections won by the late Moshood Abiola. President Buhari also said the story of the Nigerian democracy under the Fourth Republic will not be complete without a mention of the heroic roles of the likes of Ambassador Carrington. Former U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Walter Carrington, dies at 90.
APC interim panel battles against time. Party to shift convention. There were strong indications yesterday that the Maimala Buni-led All Progressive Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee was battling against time ahead of the expiration of its 6-month tenure, which began in June. It was gathered in Abuja that although the tenure of the or its leaders, the reconciliation of aggrieved party members and preparations for the National Convention. It was learned that the Caretaker Committee will seek an extension of its tenure to enable it to deal with these issues, which would ultimately lead to the shift of the National Convention initially scheduled for November. A member of the APC National Executive Committee who confided in our correspondent yesterday said the committee will be hinging its request on these realities. There were indications on Wednesday the party might hold a NEC meeting where the tenure of the Caretaker Committee will be extended to enable it to come to Villa on June 25, dissolve the Adams Oshiomhole-led National Working Committee, and sets up the committee headed by Bune. It's a lengthy story. You can check it out from the Punch newspaper with the headline, APC interim panel battles against time, party to shift convention.
My final story for this morning, soldier jailed 55 years for murder. A General Court Martial GCM sitting in Abuja on Wednesday sentenced a soldier to 55 years imprisonment for murder, burglary, and theft. Lance Corporal Ibrahim Babangida killed one Bello Abdullahi Aliyu and also robbed his car at Anka Council of Zamfara State in 2014. Aliyu was then on the staff of the World Health Organization WHO in the state. Babangida also stole a mobile phone and 600,000 naira from various persons on separate occasions. After listening to prosecution and defense counsel, President of the GMC, Major General Priye Fagroha, ruled that the accused would serve a jail term of 40 years for homicide. Babangida was also sentenced to 5 years on each of the 3 count charges for which he pleaded guilty, but the sentencing will run concurrently. This story is taken from Nation newspaper. To know more about it, get yourself a copy.
And I'll take about 2 more stories or thereabout. IJ threatens 10 billion lawsuit against Shure. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has described as false a media report accusing him of illegally raising funds to build a police training school in Nasarawa State. Denying the August 3, 2020 report published by Sahara Reporters, the Inspector General, through his lawyer, Dr. Alex Izoyon, SAN, threatened to file a 10 billion naira suit against the online platform and its publisher, Omoyele Shure. Izoyen said the IG had given Sahara Reporters and Shure only 7 days to tender a written and unequivocal retraction with an apology carried with the same prominence on the platform and 3 national dailies, failing which he will head for court. Izoyen stated in the letter, our client hastened to inform you that these defamatory words in your said publication go of lies, concoctions, all calculated by you to bring our client to the lowest contempt, as they are a product of you and your online publications to achieve your premeditated, blackmail, dubious, and diabolical ends. IG threatens 10 billion naira suit against Shure. You can check it out. It's on the pages of the Punch newspaper for this morning. And before we go this morning, I still have the story that says petrol supply disruption imminent as Pengerson begins strike. Members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and some of its agencies yesterday began a 3-day warning strike that could disrupt petrol supply across the country. It was gathered that the senior workers down to tools at the Abuja headquarters could face petrol scarcity if oil workers made good the threat of withdrawing their services nationwide should the federal government insist on registering employees in the oil sector on IPPIS. Pengerson and the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers had written a letter addressed to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva. Following the seeming silence of government over the matter, Pengerson's national officer, who doubles as the Rivers State Secretary of the Trade Union Congress, Fortune Obi, told a correspondent on Wednesday that the industrial action has commenced. Petrol supply disruption imminent as Pengerson begins strike. The story is actually there on the pages of the Punch newspaper. And quickly, before we leave this morning, 292 more Nigerians arrive in Abuja from the United Arab Emirates. 292 Nigerians have returned from the United Arab Emirates, taking the number of evacuees from the Arab nation to 2,933. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission NITCOM disclosed this in a tweet via its official handle on Wednesday. It explained that the evacuees arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at about 2:30 p.m. Yesterday. Although the agency said the evacuees had tested negative to COVID-19, they would be undergoing a mandatory 14-day self-isolation in line with the guidelines issued by the federal government. 292 more Nigerians arrive in the UAE. And lastly, from me this morning, it's a paid announcement here. Qatar Properties Limited, a real estate agent based all over Nigeria, the group